Welcome back to Weekend. The lovely Ruthie Henshaw is still with me, and coming up, one of the stars of Orange is the New Black, that's Kate Mulgrew, plus more excellent music from Lady Hawk for us to enjoy. But my next guest is an American actor who's had an incredibly varied career. He's known for roles in Dempsey and Makepeace, Captain America, the brilliant sitcom episodes. And if you're watching with the kids right now, well, they'll recognise him as the narrator in Thomas and Friends. He's currently wowing audiences on stage in London to tell us all about his latest play. Please welcome Michael Brandon. How are you?
Hey.
Really good to see you.
And you. Hey. Hello. Nice to meet you.
You weren't really smiling the last time I saw you in your play.
Yes. Yes. You know, I am British.
I know that.
And I was an American actor. I'm now American-British actor.
That's so confusing.
I know, but I've been here, well, I guess I must be, well, I got my passport, I guess, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I've been here 30, so...
And you obviously love it because you're back with this new play. I really, really enjoyed it. A beautiful, bittersweet comedy?
I guess, yes. I mean, there's a lot of very funny things, and there's some very tragic and heartfelt things. You know, it's a mixture of what theater's about. And, yeah, it was written by my oldest friend. And so it's been there, and so in helping him get his play going, and also, you know, it was all friends, all coming together to make this thing, and everybody has that feeling.
Yeah, it's magical. You're also performing, I would say, in one of the most intimate spaces I've ever seen in my life. The front row is literally in the show.
I know.
You have a lot of guts.
You are in the hotel room.
You are.
Literally are on, you know, Matt Brown, the character. You're in his hotel room, and it's a tiny room, and you know, he comes in, and you know, it's like the audience is in it.
Absolutely. Let me just point out to you how close it is. If that's your bed in your hotel room, the front row is here.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, we come in, we literally have to go across legs of the audience, you know, and going down the corridor to the hotel room. But that sense of intimacy really works.
It does.
It really works.
You get to the heart of the play, I feel. And we also really feel for you. You know, the story is you're a retired businessman, your wife's passed away, you've come back to London, which you love, you're staying in this hotel off the King's Road.
Right.
And it's almost like a voyage of self-discovery or rediscovery.
Well, it's all that, because he comes to grieve, but he has a plan. And he has help,
yes,
and he decides to make some new choices in his life.
Yeah.
And you know, he always has the presence of his past wife, and he's breaking rules. And he does some things, and what he finds out is not what he thought he'd find out.
No.
Right? But it awakens that thing within you, and your heart feels young, and you're alive, and you know. But then again, this feeling comes over it. I'm not sure, you know. So it does. It goes everywhere.
And the cast is brilliant. Good working with Sherry Lungi?
Sherry Lungi is fantastic. I mean, I've done things with her before, like, well, acting.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
I'm glad you pointed that out for us.
Yeah. She sewed my lip together, I think, in Doctors, you know. You know, we know each other a long time, you know, almost as long as I've been here.
What I like about the play is also you're acting with Jeff Bridges, but not in the conventional sense of the word.
That's true. That's true. The idea was, since we had such a limited space, it was so small, we couldn't really fit another set. And so the idea started to grow that what if we did this? And the director said, well, what if we do a speakerphone? I said, yeah, that'll be exciting. You know, and then it grew to, what if we just put him on the TV in the hotel room? And
so you're Skyping him.
How would he be there? And then the director said, Skype. And so it's Skype.
It's brilliant.
It works.
Oh, wow.
And Jeff Bridges is so good.
Your character in the play loves the films of Ingmar Bergman. As a kid, for you, it was Marlon Brando, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Wild Strawberries was the author's, you know, his ethos, you know, kind of thing. Brando, for me, made me want to be an actor. You know, On the Waterfront just was it.
Yeah.
You know, if I have a favorite movie and performance, it was that. And yeah, he was. Do you know the thing I regret most in my career is that I was offered a movie after my first leading role in a movie. I think with Loves and Other Strangers.
Yeah.
Right. I was offered this film, a western yet, you know, and I thought the script's just not very good. And the director said, look, I know you like Brando. He's my best friend. You say yes to this picture, and I'll take you up to his house, and we'll have dinner there tonight. And I didn't go.
No.
I didn't go.
Why?
I mean, people have all sorts of regrets, but that was probably the dumbest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably it.
The story of how you got into acting is fascinating, though, because, you grew up on the streets. Both your parents left before the end of school. Life
There
was
wasn't
tough.
a lot of education or
No.
offer there. Yeah, it was learning from the street. And my father used to give me strange lessons. I can't even repeat on the show, but, just, how to get on in life, And I knew I wasn't doing what I wanted to do. And I tried to do what people wanted, I wound up studying law, right, at night and working for these guys who were pretty, bent. The front door was the reverse of the name on the other door, and merchandise moved through.
Right, freely.
And I said, I don't know what I'm doing in my life here, but I know it's not what I am doing. And then what happened was I was coming out of classes, and I couldn't get into my car. My back was hurting, and by 4 a.m. I was paralyzed. And I banged, I was using a lamp or something to bang on the floor. My father said, I'm going to break your head. You know what time it is? I said, I can't move my legs. So I wound up at this doctor's place, and the thing was, I had a surgery. My mom said, after that, you were born with a very tiny hole at the base of your spine, and the doctor said when you're about 18, you're going to need an operation. I said, you knew this? I can't believe you. Why didn't you tell me this? She said, who wants to worry you?
She sounds great.
In that time, it took 6 months for me to relearn to walk if I was going to be able to walk. I had like 120 stitches. It was anyway. In that time, I reassessed my life and what I was doing, decided to let go with both hands. And it was a blind date that said to me, I was telling her my woes and all this stuff, and I don't want to do this and that. And she said, you're a funny guy. You should be an actor or a comedian. And it was like somebody hit me in the head with a bell. I swear to you. I said, yeah. How do you do that? How do you do that? She said, you go to a school. What school? So I go to this American Academy of Dramatic Arts. I walk in.
How you got in there is the best story ever.
Well, yeah, okay. So I go in to admissions, and the guys give me all this stuff, and I had never even seen a play. Right?
Can you believe that?
Never saw one. Never went to school. Never participated in anything. I was lucky to get where I got, and I think it was the system that got me a scholarship to the law school, because I never really did anything. So I said, look, what's the story here? How much does it cost? He says, well, your tuition is discussed after you're admitted. And I said, look, I want to go to the school, so I want to be an actor. What do you got to do? He said, well, you have to audition. I said, let me get this straight. You want me to act before you taught me how? Does that make sense to you? He said, well, you see, that's the way we can tell if you have the ability. I said, I got the ability. I'm here. I'll do it. You just, take the money. I'll tell you what, I'll double it. He said, are you bribing me? I said, look, I just want to get on with it. You know what I mean? He said, here's a book of scenes. Every Wednesday afternoon at 4 o'clock, we do auditions. He said, so book it and da-da-da. So I'm sitting outside the place thinking, well, that didn't go very well. So I flipped through this thing, and I don't know any of the plays. I mean, Mice and Men, probably all that stuff, I said, no, acting. I want to act. So I go to a bookstore, and I buy Hamlet, right, which I knew nothing about except the name of it, right? And I flipped through it, and I found that speech, the speech. And I have photographic memory. It's dying now, but it's, anyway. And I memorize it and realize today is Wednesday. So it's about 4 o'clock. So I go back, right? And I go in, and the girl says, when's your appointment? And I said, I think it was 4:20. And she says, well, there's nothing here. I don't have anything for you. Really? I came all the way in, to the city, and she said, well, where's your CV, your bio, your picture? I said, you don't have that either? I said, it's all lost? Oh, God. And she said, so my first acting, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, she says, look, I'll tell you what, you go in first, and I'll just push you in the door. So I go into this room, and there's about 12 people sitting at a long table. And I'm looking, there's no chair for me to sit down, right? Just them sitting. And the guy who's the admissions guy is sitting at the end. And he's looking at me like, what are you doing here? He knows I've never acted. He knows, you know, and he said, yeah, so what are you going to do for us today? I said, Hamlet. Okay, so, you know, they said, take your time, prepare. I said, I'm ready. So, and I was dressed, I was in a three-piece suit, right? So I looked out in the room, see, everybody was in costumes. And I'm thinking, I didn't think of that. But then, where would you get a Hamlet costume, right? So, all right, I'll just get on with it. To be, you know, or not, right? And I'm going on. And this one guy started to gasp. He started laughing so hard that he was starting to choke. And I'm going on, you know, I thought that the one line were about this bare bodkin, because I saw that bare bodkin must be a naked body, you know. It was, well, I was close, naked sheath, you know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, I got to that, and I tore open the shirt, and the buttons were flying and hitting everybody, and this poor guy's going... And he falls off his chair, and the next thing is they're trying to help him out, and I'm accepted to the academy.
Yay!
There you go.
Hey.
I tell you what, that's the greatest story we've had on this series so far. Thank you very much. I'd love to talk to you about loads more, but we've run out of time, unfortunately. But I know that you've just been finishing filming episodes as well. We're going to see that on TV very soon.
Next year.
Next year
It's going to be the best series of all of them.
There we go.
You know, but meanwhile, off the King's Road, people really come and have this experience.
Absolutely. It's on until the 25th of June, German Street Theatre.
So it's not long.
I've done the plug for you. And stay where you are. Are you a fan of the royal family, by the way?
Oh, I've met them.
Oh, of course.
Well, I did a photo exhibition for the Prince's Trust.
Right.
And then I was invited to Buckingham Palace and to Wembley, and you know, with Charles, we went for the concert.
You'll know then there's a massive celebration taking place in London today, the largest ever street party. It's all to celebrate the Queen's official 90th birthday.